Welcome guys for another video on my channel, and today is a special day, a very hype day to be honest. We just got the announcement of Romancing Saga 2 Revenge of the Seven during Nintendo Direct. I was away for most of the day, so I just got many pings on Discord, people saying, look, they just announced a remake of Romancing Saga 2. That was extremely unexpected. I was expecting, I don't know, Saga Frontier 2. But that's actually amazing because it's a full remake and not a simple remaster, because we already have one and that game is amazing, but still has some quality of life issues, something that was not implemented, like complicated menus. We cannot see the resistance of the characters, but that's all gone, my friends. I will be watching with you all the trailer. I only watch it in my mobile. Now I'll be watching in a full screen and commenting what I'm seeing on the screen. So let's start running. Well, you can see that this is probably Wagner's.
When the seven heroes embodied that moniker. They rose to action whenever fiends would set upon us. However, over time, their power continued to grow unchecked.
At this moment, we can see that they are the seven heroes, all of them.
And sure enough, return they did.
Seems like it is a new version of the soundtrack. Still very similar to the remaster one.
I shan't betray their trust.
Here, it's something that I need to talk a little. It seems like they are probably running this game in, I don't know, in the Mana series engine. I'm not so sure if it's the Trial of Mana or if it's the Echoes of Mana engine, but that is actually pretty interesting. They are developing this game for quite some time now, and I quite like the graphics design here because it fits the world well. And just like when I saw Star Ocean 2R Remake, I really like how they are doing the environments, guys, because it is a modern game, but at the same time, it tries to bring nostalgia with the graphics. And it's simple, but it's a simple that works. We can see there is a map inside a dungeon, and let's run a little more.
How to protect the people of Varen with my very life.
Look at this. Amazing.
The people yearn for a strong country and a brave emperor.
The only thing about the graphics here, I would say, it's that they don't have too much shadow or lightning. But that's okay. It is cel-shaded, and many games that have cel-shading don't have too much lightning and shadow. In the armor, you can see more of the shadow, but not on the faces of the characters. And here we can see that this character is either Sophia or any other Crusader. And it's fun to see that Garrett is meeting them. Thomas as well. I don't know if I was able to meet them with Gathered. So that is already something interesting. I believe that they will add new content and maybe the generations will last for longer. We'll know only later.
To lead them.
I believe that everyone has their rightful place.
Actor?
Your hands are absolutely filthy.
The stratagems I craft for the Empire.
This power, these memories of countless battles. I would devote my life to the good.
That is pretty interesting because this is the moment where you have to choose a new emperor, and they probably increased the number of different emperors. I can see 6 different ones here. And I don't know if they will still allow you to get a new formation. They are revamping the formations as well. And this past scene was Gathered already receiving the experiences of past heroes. That is probably Leon, of course.
Of Avalon, so that the destiny of our imperial forebears may one day be fulfilled.
And we are seeing the 7 heroes on their monster forms. That is something that I really love it. Of course, Romancing Saga 2 already had enemies appearing on the map, and now you can even attack them to initiate battle with some advantages. Here, it's just damage, but I believe there's something else. There's an overdrive gauge that you can see here on the bottom, and not just that, but it seems like it's already charged a little. And oh my gosh, we have to discuss the HUD on the battle. There is 5 characters on the screen. They are showing you the LP. That is super important. If it was another RPG, we would have thought that this is just, you know, the level of the character. But you can see the HP and the BP as well, and they seem to have very high values for BP, even Emerald. And here on the top, my friends, look, it is a very similar battle gauge to Grandia. If you have ever played Grandia, or even Atelier Iris, if I'm not mistaken, the second game also has this timeline. I know that we have timeline with SaGa, uh, Emerald Beyond, and also with Scarlet Race, but this is pretty different. It is a moving timeline, and it's strange that you can actually see two timelines here. This one, it's running, and there seems to have another timeline just right besides. That is strange, but in Grandia you can use skills, and then when you use skills, you can delay the order of other enemies, and also the enemies move around the map so that you can sometimes use skills that will hit many of them. On Romancing Saga games, sometimes we have attacks that hits a row or a column. Now that we are on a 3D environment, I do believe that they will be much like some tactical RPGs. If you have ever played Phantom Brave or something like the 3D strategic games that have circular areas of attacks, I do believe that is something that will be used here. So there will still be AoE attacks that will hit all enemies besides the area, but some strong attacks like in Romancing Saga Universe will probably be with a strained area, a column or a fan area, stuff like that. So that seems to be very interesting, and maybe some skills will be capable of delaying the enemy movement or the action order of that. In Romancing Saga Universe, in many other Saga games, there is a hidden status that is called action order. Skills have different speed, so that seems very interesting if they really follow up the idea of, you know, Grandia. There's also affinity here that reminds me a little bit of Chrono Cross. In Chrono Cross, you can change the terrain affinity, and you can also see some spots here on the ground. They have probably something related to elements. She's using Flash Fire, and it has both sun and heat elements, and you can see these two elements just sparkling while you have other elements on the ground. That is interesting, but well, let's keep running. This attack is probably full AoE. This one is not. And Glimmer, you can see here that Glimmer, it still happens, so you still learn skills as you go in the middle of a fight. That is the most impactful thing about Saga games, in my opinion. And once again, we can see the timeline here on the top, and as strange as it seems, this turn is probably, yeah, you are seeing trees attacking, and then it will be Actor, then one enemy, and then Bear, like, is the next one, and then two enemies. And the next turn has this order. I feel like this is the second turn, the next turn. There's still stuff in the ground that I don't fully understand. But look, they also expanded on formations because since this is a 3D game, well, they now have a chess board. It is still not exactly the same size, but it's much bigger than a normal size of Romancing Saga formations. And there seems to be more options, and they are not locking the Emperor in a slot, because in Romancing Saga 2 original version, or the remaster, there are some formations that will lock the Emperor in a certain spot, but sometimes your Emperor doesn't want to get hit because he's actually a mage now, so that is interesting. Here they are talking about the timeline battles, and you can see that he is attacking this enemy here, and it's highlighted here, Dobby, and you can see it in the timeline, and I don't know, but it's also appearing here on the right side. Maybe if you attack this enemy and he gets paralyzed, he's instantly moved into the end of the timeline of the next turn, something like that. There's also flee option being used here. I don't understand. Another spell, this time Diamond Dust, Aries, Jorg, Bear, Eric, and Tetis. This is already at least this third generation. And yes, this is character is using Quadra Strike. That is a 4-hit attack, and each hit will appear a different damage on the screen. And Overdrive United Attack. This comes from SaGa Scarlet Grace and Emerald Beyond, and also Minstrel Song. But I don't know which formula they are using. But again, there is an Overdrive gauge here on the bottom, and you can see the number 2. Oh, it's hard to see the number 2 here, but it is. There. I think I will have to disappear here. Yes, you can see the 2 Shane says. The affinity is different now. It's wind. And it means that other characters are attacking. You can see that there are 2 characters with a green shade alongside their icon. So that means that they are attacking together. But only those 2. The other ones don't have the color. 1 time Shane and then increase the damage. And then, yes, this other character attacked. Pretty interesting. And now they are also saying that you can see the outcome of what will happen. And you have to answer different things. I don't know if they will allow you to rewind like they are allowing you to rewind on Emerald Beyond. I don't think they will do that. But you can either help Kat. This is a character of the game. And recruiting her will allow you to keep using characters with the same job. And you can also just not help her, like serves her right. And it says your actions and decisions shape the history of the world. See, if you help her, she joins. You can see from the left side. And if you don't help her, she's probably gone, or I don't know. Recruit many allies to your cause. In this game, you can recruit classes, and then all the characters will be born with the same classes, but they have different affinities sometimes. They are better on using some types of skills. They can spark some different skills from Glimmer. So, as you can see, this character is Crusader, much like the other one we saw with a different hair color. They will have different designs, and you can see... Oh, another pirate. This time it's a blonde one. And you can make a decision here. You have 3 decisions to make. Another very interesting thing here. They are showing you when the enemy is hit with a weak attack. As you can see here, Waterfall Blade is an attack in Romancing Saga universe made of slash and cold attack. They are attacking, I don't know if these are snakes or something, but they are usually weak to cold types. And something interesting that I saw here is that there is an X icon, weak to X and cold attacks. 2 other icons are still no. But when you choose these skills on the menu, they will also show that the enemies are weak. It will be shown here.
I think I finally understand now.
So actually I had to rewind a little. It is shown here when you are attacking an enemy. It says weak, and it has the icon of a sword attack. And then you can even see here on the selection, you are choosing a skill and the game's already saying, well, if you use this skill, you're going to hit the weak spot of the enemy. That's actually pretty amazing. And also different because in many Saga games, the enemy is weak to the type of damage. Like swords will usually do slash damage. Not all sword skills though. But here is an enemy weak to a sword attack. Because there was an enemy weak to an axe attack. Now, this will create more diversity and variety of weaponry. You can equip 2 weapons if you want, or even more in the original game. So that is interesting. Well, we'll be seeing the animations here running again. It's interesting that just 1 chain increases damage by 2.0. That's not what happens in other Saga games. The increase is not that high. And damage is also very high already. 1.3 thousand. In Romancing Saga 2, the damage takes time to scale.
I'm ready for the battles to come. Away with you! I must fulfill this sacred duty.
Another thing, all these classes, they start unlocking as you do missions in the game. Side missions usually. Some are mandatory missions, but you will start getting more and more characters and more side quests you do. I hoped if that's the same as the original.
Just as I thought.
Meet your maker.
Rue your fate.
See ya.
I think I finally understand now. When my father sacrificed himself, it was more
And
than mere
those are the
possession of
versions,
power.
the monstrous versions of the bosses. And haha, I just stopped the trailer on Rock Bouquet. I know so many people consider Rock Bouquet to be their waifus. Even those two guys appearing here, I am sure. So she would be very popular. But we cannot play with the 7 heroes.
He knew that his spirit itself would continue to live on in me.
And again, we have voice action here. And it is amazing that a game is being released for many different systems. Nintendo Switch, PS5, PS4, Steam. It is not being released for mobile. Like all the past remakes and remasters have been released on mobile, even Emerald Beyond. But maybe this is something related to the engine not being ready to release on mobile yet. But maybe it will be eventually released on mobile. Who knows? But that is awesome, guys. They are also saying this game has multi-language options and physical versions for those that love. And since it's running on Nintendo Switch, that's probably why the graphics are not AAA, like some people would say. But I am very happy with the graphics. I am happy with the direction. I can see a lot of good ideas. But I may have missed something. Please say here in the comment section if you saw something that I haven't. And let's discuss this game. It's hyped because the game's release is just so close. October 24 of 2024. Amazing, and I was not expecting this. Tell me here also if you were expecting this, because I wasn't, totally wasn't, and I'm very excited to play this game with you all on this channel. Well, thanks so much for watching this video. Please subscribe if you haven't, and if you want to help the channel, we have links in the description. Hope to see you soon on the next one. Goodbye.